Um, who am I? Uh, well, my name's Dwight Jones. Most people know me as Juice Jones. There's actually been a battle over the names people should call me. Because people are always asking me like, hey, what name are you like most comfortable with? And I tell them like, hey, as long as it's a name that I know identifies me, I'm fine with that. And my mom alternates between calling me both names anyway, so I don't have a preference. I know I'm the same person regardless. My current mission? Damn, that's a great question. I'd say my current mission right now with the hashtag Mental Health Monday concept that we've been exploring is trying to put out as many positive images as possible. So we've done the Love Yourself shirts, the Hype Me Up shirts, the comedian from Detroit, Demetrius's You Matter hoodies. And for the most part, I just want every single Monday to be a positive start to everyone's week. I know Monday is one of the hardest days internationally for a lot of people. It's the day that comes after the weekend, the day that you have to go back to work, the day you have to look forward to going back to the job that doesn't necessarily make you happy. And the overall goal of our mission right now is to take the pressures off of having to wake up on a Monday to go back to the things that aren't really a part of your dreams. Another layer that we've added on to the Mental Health Monday aspect is the Get Home Safe parties, where we have events. I guess it would be good to call them mixers, where we throw these events with therapists. We sell clothing, so the Hype Me Up shirts, the Love Yourself shirts, the Juice shirts. My friends Coop and Ryan, they help me out quite a bit with the events that we put together and throw when it comes to like securing locations and people just understanding that we are creating these spaces that we want people to know it's okay to get help. It's okay to know about the resources in your community outside of just going through your insurance company. It's okay to shop around for what therapists may be good for dealing with your depression, your anxiety, or your trauma from the past. And I just want people to see the faces of the people that are supposed to help us. I've been Black all my life. Being Black has a weight of its own. You have police brutality. In the Caribbean culture, abuse is part of our culture. And I mean, we joke around about it, but that shit really is scarring and jarring for a lot of us. And you know, as a kid who's Jamaican, who grew up in New Jersey, who now lives in DC, I see a lot of bits and pieces of my past that need to be corrected, would be the best way to put it. A helping hand, I guess, would be the best way to describe the overall goal. If you can help those in your community, then you may be able to one day help yourself also. In the Bible, since we're gonna reference Jesus at this point, Jesus wasn't in the big houses. The way he was depicted, he was in the hoods, he was in the slums. He was helping his niggas. He was helping strangers he didn't know. He was helping prostitutes, whores, people who at that time were seen as having a problem. And I mean, no matter whether they were rich, no matter if they didn't have anything to give, he wanted to help people as much as he could. And our goal for us is we just want to help. We want to create those spaces that we've never been given growing up. And I mean, this project I'm working on right now is the cause and effect of one of the biggest traumas I've gone through in my life, and losing my best friend and the love of my life to depression and anxiety last year, and just understanding that I would never want someone to go through that again. And then like building better families. Like, how do you, there's no manual that like tells people how to deal with someone's having a mental breakdown, someone's having an episode. There's no coach for shit like that. And then like after not having a coach for shit like that, there's no one who just voluntarily comes into your life and says, hey, I can help you. I heard you had an issue going on. None of that shit's here in life. Like, you gotta do it yourself. And I mean, even from a lot of the events that we put together with the Get Home Safe, with the therapists and everything else, I've had therapists let me know, therapists have therapists. The people who help you, they have to go and get therapy too, because sometimes it's a lot for them. And understanding no matter how strong you're seen in society or how epic people think the things that you are doing are, everybody needs help. Like, no matter the popularity, no matter the bank account, no matter the situation or the shortcoming or the blessings, mentally, everybody is not prepared for seeking help. And it's just so important. I'm actually really terrible at that, if we're gonna be honest. Let me see. I lost my best friend on June 18th, 2018. And it's just been a whirlwind of putting the events together, telling people to seek help, getting our clothing lines together, figuring out what organization we're gonna make donations to. And honestly, I haven't gotten professional help that I need to get for myself. I'm working towards it. I mean, I do this thing every couple of weeks where informally I sit down with a therapist that we do these events with, and I really open up to them, because if you're gonna make these suggestions for people to go and get help, you gotta make sure it's the right people. Just because they're a therapist don't mean they're good for you. That means their job is they're supposed to help you. Not every person is the greatest, not every person is the worst, but I do want to make sure that the people I suggest for everyone who comes to our Get Home Safe event, they know that that space is a safe space. And once they leave that space, that the therapists who are there at the events we put together, whose information they get, are really there to help them. Like, so I open up to them and I get very honest with them about where I am mentally, what I do with myself. I meditate. I avoid alcohol if possible. I only drink with my friends when I do drink. I smoke some weed, but I don't depend on weed. I don't buy weed. I'm one of those social people that, like, if there's anything I'm doing that's an influence outside of just me waking up and eating food, I only do it in a group with my folks. And I don't get the urge to depend on that. When my friend was here, Darnisha's her name, I never stated that earlier. We had that as our habits too. She always wanted me to try pina coladas. She was the first person to introduce me to Moscow mules. She was the first person to introduce me to Milagro Reposado. And I mean, it was a really good time for her. But she always wanted to share the good time. It was never meant to just be something that like she did cooped up in her house when nobody is around. And that taught me a lot, because from all the NFL tryouts that I've done, Canadian Football League and American, and arena football, when you're conditioned in terms of playing all those sports, alcohol isn't necessary. Weed's not all that necessary either. So I had to be taught how to relax and how to really enjoy my time with others. And she taught me that. So, do I get help? Not the kind of help I suggest to others. Am I doing an okay job of maintaining myself and giving myself time when I need to? Yeah. I have certain days that I'll disappear off the face of the earth and everybody knows I'm in my room, and it's just because I need social space from everybody. When you do these events, when you contact all these people, when you organize so many things going on between Baltimore, Philly, and DC for the events we put together, you have a lot of conversations. And it's very important to know, and maybe a nigga needs 10 minutes to themselves. Maybe you might need to just go soak in a bath in a claw bathtub and use the bath bombs that you brag so much about. You might want to listen to your favorite album, whether it be Black or Beyonce, really get yourself together, because you can't advertise that you're doing all these mental health events and not be bringing that positive energy towards everyone that you're doing it with, which is very important. And not only just that, but that energy is very important when it comes to the groups. People, whether you have an awareness or not, you are keen onto the energy that's being brought to each event that's going on. That's why I'm so happy that every single purchase that's made of the shirts, we are able to make donations to organizations in each city we do a pop-up in to help those who need help. I'm glad that we're able to bring a certain energy to each event that we have, that there's no fights. People have let me know that they have gotten the right amount of help that they need. And most of all, that this thing with mental health, it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. You don't get a therapist and one therapist solves all your problems. Mental health is the same as having a cold that doesn't go away. And you have to just always find new ways to find a new tea recipe. You have to have a conversation with someone about doing yoga and how much that reinforces your nervous system. And mentally, you could be healthy or unhealthy. Mental health isn't just about, I'm depressed and I have anxiety, so I need to get help. Mental health is about being mentally healthy, or at least trying to get as close to it as possible, because it's linked to your happiness. There's only so much shit I can control, but in the few things that I know I can do, I don't want people to wake up every day feeling miserable or having regrets about the life that they're now stuck with, while also hating themselves because they can't get over the weight of all this life that's been given to them. What are some things personally that I could share with people to help them get through their tough times that I've gone through in relation to myself? It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be angry, even if it's angry with yourself. But when you do those things emotionally, or you let yourself go through the motions, you have to understand, where does it come from? When I feel some type of way, for example, I was in the gym the other day benching 425 pounds, And right before benching the 425, I had a moment where I was extremely sad. Like to the point of almost tears, but doing well enough to keep it together. And the reason that happened is because while I was in the gym, I came to the realization that that day in the gym was the day before the last day I saw my best friend alive in person. And coming to that realization it's heartbreaking. You don't want to lose a loved one. You never know the last time you're gonna see that loved one. And once they're gone, you don't get any redos. You don't get to bring them back. You don't get another shot. And you don't get another chance to let them know how much you love them and how much they matter to you. And you don't have to accept everything that happens to you in life. I'm a very angry person. I'm an extremely angry person. But that energy that I have in my anger and in my sorrow, I don't take it out on others. I put it into the projects that we put together for the mental health pop-ups. I put it in the coordination of my team. Instead of breaking people down and tearing them down, I hype my friends around me. I tell them how proud I am of them and their work, and I mean that. It doesn't just come from a false sense of I'm rooting for them because it's the right thing to do. Nah, every single thing that we do as a team is earned, period. And I try to be a positive example to my team as much as I can. And the people around me, my team, they understand this fucked up shit that I go through on a daily. I don't allow myself to get too low. I don't allow myself to get too high. And I believe in the actions of others. People are always gonna tell you words. People are always gonna tell you what you wanna hear, but not everyone's gonna show you what you need to see. And live your truth. While this past week, actually, this week right now that we're in on this holiday, I was with my best friend's family, which is now my family. This isn't how I wanted to inherit her family. But I mean, when you're family, and that doesn't change. And we finally got to see her sister graduate. I didn't get to go to the graduation because I was working, as Jamaicans do, but I got to go to the graduation lunch. And her mom brought her sister's graduation cap. And her sister graduated 2 years ago, 2017, from Bowie State University, #1 in her class, period. And I wanted her family to take a picture of Darnisha's graduation cap and her sister, who's now my sister, Alexis's graduation cap. Because she may not be among us anymore, but a lot of her work and her rooting for her sister went into this day. And you know, it's really heartbreaking that she couldn't make it. I'd love to see her smile one more time if I could, but I can't. So I live through her family, I live through those moments. I'm there for them when they need me. And I mean, they call me things like nephew, because I'm a part of their family now. And they acknowledge me as one of them. Fun fact, her and I got the same initials, DJ. I fucking hate it when niggas call me the nickname DJ. That's the dumbest fucking nickname ever. That's the only nickname I'll never acknowledge as a nickname. But if I was ever called DJ by that nigga or by her family, I didn't have an issue with it. Because that shit made a bitch feel special. That shit really made a bitch feel special, man. It's like when you're in love with someone and the people around them who've made them who they are, you learn to love parts of yourself that you've hated for years. Or you acknowledge things that you never realized you were ignoring before. It's not like a second chance though, because no matter who you become, that past that used to be who you are, you take that with you. And the present as to who you are now, you learn to grow off of that. But I'm not gonna lie though, I'm here to see tomorrow because of my friends. Because if it wasn't for my friends going through this whole ordeal and situation, I wouldn't have made it. And I'm not afraid to say that because that's the truth. Like, there was one time where I was like, all right, man, since this person's left, and I don't really got a lot going on. I mean, fuck popularity. That's not what it's about. It's about love. You may be appreciated by your friends, but that love, that shit's different, man. And to see this world do what it did to her in terms of these corporations, how it destroyed her as a person, how it betrayed her trust and what that did to her mentally, no one deserves to go through that shit. So we are gonna fight this fight in terms of me and my team. We're gonna do the best that we can. We're gonna take our motherfucking times as we do this shit. We're gonna build this shit up. We're gonna create these dope ass relationships. We're gonna care about the people that we work with and we come across. And in those moments that we're there, we're gonna do the best that we can for those people. We're not certified fucking therapists. We bring the therapists. We're not a clothing line, we're a production company, yo. So if I make those sales, I make those donations. If I give a shirt away, hey man, it's for a good message. Someone might need that. Someone might need someone to hype them up. I've given away a couple of my You Matter hoodies. I really like those hoodies, but I give them away. There's people who could benefit from the things that we have more than I can. And I mean, what's most important is coming from a very genuine place and understanding that you can help people and still be selfish. I'm probably one of the most selfish motherfuckers on the planet when I decide to be. But if I'm gonna be selfish, I'ma selfishly help the shit out of a nigga, period. And if anybody got an issue with that shit, they can come see me. My projects keep me warm at night, and my friends. That's it. I don't think I'm in the space for happiness right now. I'm in the space to accomplish. I'm in the space to build. I'm in a space for care for those that I love. I'm in a space to hug my friends. I don't remember the last time I was happy. I still allow myself to laugh though. You gotta allow yourself to kiki and giggle with your friends. I allow that myself. But just being happy, I mean, you know, I'm happy that I made it. There's some plus there. I'm not miserable though. I drink my water. I keep God first. I mind my business. I keep the door shut so I don't let the air out when it's hot outside. You know, I do the little things. Every now and then I do slide into people's DMs to let them know it's gonna be okay and to keep their head up. And I mean, I don't think I understand myself enough to try and be happy with someone else right now. And that's important to admit that out loud. But that doesn't mean that I don't allow myself to live life. So, am I happy? I'm close to it. Am I miserable? No, I'm not miserable. Do I get sad? I'm human, so yeah, I get sad. But do I allow myself to be vulnerable with the right people? You damn right I do, but you can't allow yourself to be vulnerable with everyone. And some people honestly, truly do take advantage of that vulnerability, and you have to understand who's for you and who's not for you. You can't give everyone a chance, just the right people who care. And sometimes people can be the right person at a moment, and you have to be able to read the room and understand a couple of months, weeks, and years from now, they may not be the right people anymore, and you move along from them. You can still be their friend, but they're not always for you. They may share in your trauma and be friends of trauma, but they may not be friends of your happiness or your peace. And it's okay to move along from that shit, like a barber who fucks up your haircut and it's like, you know what? After 5 years, maybe we may have to switch up this relationship. You gave me all them hairlines. I gotta move on. That's it. Exchange. You should try to avoid people who are friends with you that are giving you so much if you're not at least putting back in the pot. You should be careful of those who take too much from you. You should be wary of those who can't root for you unless you failed and then they feel the need to root for you. You should be careful of those who only pick up the phone when they want to complain about their life not going right, but never wanting to see how you're doing as a person. Friendship is a very messy thing, man, and that's okay. You need mess. You need mess so it reminds you to take showers. You need mess so it reminds you that you didn't eat today. You need mess so it reminds you that you got to drink your Gatorade and your water and stay hydrated. You need mess so it reminds you that you're able to roll out of bed and get back in bed after rolling out of bed. You need mess. Not everyone can be your friend though. There's nothing wrong with that. You don't need to have a lot of friends. You don't need to have a limited amount of friends. But you gotta make sure your friends are for you and not against you. You gotta make sure that if you tell them about your dream and they're there to help for your dream, that your dream is their dream. And like, you know, if things don't work out, just remember that at one point they really did give you their best. They gave you the best of whatever dream you had. And that's important, man. A lot of people are out here dreaming, and dreams are important, but when you dream your dream, also imagine the amount of work you have to put into that dream to make your dream successful. For every daydream, night dream, afternoon dream, nap dream you have, and you want to bring that dream to life, think about the amount of LLCs you're going to have to buy for that dream, the amount of people you're going to have to reach out to make that dream happen, the amount of speech classes you may have to take so you could get over having a speech impediment in order to like make that dream come to life, the amount of writers you may need to reach out to, the amount of banks you may need to reach out to get a loan, the amount of mentors you may need to create for yourself, or, you know, really keeping in mind the people around you and how they'll help you grow. Dreams are tight. That soil and foundation and everything else, that's a bit cooler. We have a habit off of Instagram and Twitter of seeing the finish line. And a lot of shit that Coop, Ryan, and I are working on right now is more about the race itself and less about the finish line, because the races that we all run, those races create us. A lot of those races create us. Every time you fall in the middle of a race, you pick yourself back up, that's another notch in your belt. Every time someone tripped you before the finish line, another notch in your belt. Every time you ever fucked over by someone who's supposed to be a source and inspiration to yourself, or someone you looked up to, that's another notch in your belt. That shit makes you who you are. Most niggas who are dope out here, who are like for real dope, not faking it just so they can be dope, they've gone through a lot of fucked up shit, and they understood who and what they needed to move past and what they needed to keep for themselves to keep going. And that shit's not easy. It's not sweet either. Eventually it gets to be sweet. You get to have sweet moments with your niggas, but it's not sweet. I hope that message was relayed well. My team. You have Coop the creator. She works PR. She's a hell of a personality from PG County. All day, rough around the edges, American Caribbean. That's one of my G's. We recently got closer between last year to this year, and we've done a lot of work together. And she's great at what she does. She's good at reading the culture. She's good at predicting what's gonna happen next. And she's amazing when it comes to execution and getting shit done. And my boy Ryan Brown, he's a writer for Vice. He also has mental health demons that he struggles with, but he does an amazing job of keeping himself together. He also works for a nonprofit out in VA, and he really believes in giving back to the community and the work that we're building together. You got my boy Bronson Beverly. So for the Mental Health Monday project, those two people I announced, that's my team in terms of we execute everything together. Now for these other people, these are my friends that have decided to give their time and their resources into advertising a lot of stuff that we do. And Bronson Beverly, Sice Gang, Tyrell, sometimes Thornell, Lena, the whole group when they can, Kevin. They come through, and if I post something, they retweet it. If I let everybody know what's going on, they crack jokes. They do a real good job of bringing the public and everybody else in. And it's really amazing. You know, I got a group of DJs around me when I started the project between Under the Table. Started the project that was meant to interview DJs, which we're still working on right now. Will be coming out soon. And I've just been shown so much support from everybody in my time of need. And the only way I know how to work is to build others. I don't build myself. I don't wake up and be like, oh man, I can't wait to be the baddest bitch ever. Nah, not at all. I gotta have a team around me. I gotta know who to big up. If I see something that needs to be highlighted, I can't wait to mention it. Controlling a room, Alex Love, she did an amazing job in Philly this weekend. A lot of people are loving her music, her transitions. That was really important, especially coming from Akiki, flying out to Philly in order to do the mental health pop-up. That was important. You got people who else just finished spinning one of our events on my birthday? There was Alex Love, there was Troy. You had Freeze. Freeze did a great job on his transitions also. You know, he just really thoroughly enjoyed everything he had to give to that birthday party at the end of March. My birthday was March 13th, but we did the event at the end of March, and that was beautiful just to see him go in. Even my boy Pedro, he wasn't hired for that day, but Pedro fucks with me heavy, the one from the Adopa parties. He came through, got on the set for a little bit. I was downstairs when it happened. When I heard that, I was like, nah, I fuck with that. I fuck with that heavy. If someone fucks with you enough that at your event, while all these DJs are spinning, they want to get on, give the room a little bit of something for free, not being scheduled, and then get back off, and it's just seamless, that's important, because that shows you where their heart is when it comes to the craft and everything else that they're doing. And Darnisha's family, that's my team. Outside of my initial team with Coop and Ryan, I sit down with her mom and we talk finances. We talk where I'm spending my money. We talk about loans that I may need to take out. We talk about sponsorships and grants that I could look into when it comes to mental health. We talk about my taxes, what I need to file, you know. And what's most important is I'm not a nonprofit, I'm a fucking production company. We produce shit. We've garnered a lot of attention from doing the Mental Health Monday project, which is my personal project that my friends are helping me out with. and we've accomplished so much. And we haven't even put shit out yet from the stuff that we're actually working towards with snacks under the table. And honestly, the Mental Health Monday, we may need to turn that into a very specific series so people can see the work that we're doing. When you're a production company, you focus on advertising, sending the right message. And I mean, you know, it's not every day a black man in America can control his image. I got the right people around me, so it's easy. But I mean, as much as we've accomplished so much, there's so much more to do. And that's what the next focus is now. Everything we have to do and how we're gonna make it happen. So, yeah. Any other questions? Take your time. I got my TDE hat on. I got my Sice Game button up top. I'm Gucci. Got the cop cars copping. That's always nice. I can see the gears turning. Oh, actually, shout out to my production team in terms of Brooke and Abel. Those are very important components to every single thing that we do. My boy Brooke, he just shot part 2 and part 3 of the Don't Mute DC movement over on 14th and U. He did a great job. And I mean, that's also another thing, yo, being able to work with your coworkers and big up everything that they do. Like, that's an amazing video he did. He did 2 videos. The first one was tight, but there's a time frame in terms of shit that can pop. The first time he got a little bit above 24 hours, so it only came out to like, let's say 400, maybe 500 views. This other video that's on my IG, I put his name, he did it, and just the tag. That shit's close to 5,000 views. That's 5,000 views of people noticing, wow, this man does a really good job in whatever the fuck they do. I may want to work with that person. Who would have known DC could have been presented in that light? That's amazing. Imagine what else he could put his fingerprints on. Like just let Brooke touch it. Like, just touch it. Like, you know how they say in Spanish, like, hey man, you want something? And they're just like, poco, just poco, poco, just a little bit. Just let him touch that shit. I want to see a lot of stuff that's coming out of DC be presented in a better light. I want us to have all the quality. I'm a nigga from Jersey, and there's a lot of talent that's here in DC. I want everyone to look at DC and be like, damn, I need to go out there. I didn't know they was doing it like that. I didn't know they shit was popping like that. Damn. I like the way this shit smells. Oh man, that's crazy. And Abel got a mouth on him, man. That man has the golden tongue for talking to people. He's the nastiest broad I ever met, and I'm definitely glad I get to do a lot of work with them. And I'm looking to see what happens to us in the next 5 years. Like, what will we do in the next 5 years? What will we be considered? Who will want to work with us? What have we accomplished? Where are our downfalls? How did we pick each other up? Did we do well doing well? And I mean, it is business, but that's great business. I mentally thank God for these niggas every day. Having a team you can depend on, like a team, not like you wake up and you call the shots. Nah, fuck that, a team. Niggas who call you out when you fuck up. People who correct you when you need to be corrected. People who pick you up when you can't pick yourself up. People who check on you to be like, yo, my nigga, you good? That's amazing. That's a blessing. That's what life is supposed to be about. And you know, I really do hope to God every single person who comes to our events or people who see what we're doing or who are talking to us, I hope they have a team too. I keep telling everybody I come across, like, hey, build your team. You could pop one time, that's nice. Build your team. Who you gonna travel with when those days get dark? Build your team. Who you gonna talk to when you need advice? Build your team. Because your team's gonna know at least 5 people you can reach out to to help you out with a situation if you have questions. And like, no matter how much you know what's going on, or you've done things, or how many times you've been in a situation, there's nothing like talking to someone who can relate to what's going on, or at least add another point of view as to what's going on with you. And that's important. I don't do this shit blindly. I have a lot of conversations before I do the shit that I do. The only thing I decided to do blindly was start this Mental Health Monday project and spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars, probably thousands of dollars to this point, to make sure all those photo shoots we did look good. And I was like, you know what? I want behind the scenes shit. Pay for that too. All right, you know what? I want behind the scenes shit for behind the scenes shit. All right, I got my camera. Let's do that too. And then eventually, a lot of people actually like, hey man, what's next? Be like, that's a damn good question, because I couldn't fucking tell you if I knew, because I don't know shit right now. But I know it's coming. I feel it coming. And I mean, you know, it's Mental Health Mondays. We're shooting this on a Sunday right now in a waterfall next to my best friend's mom's job. And she used to come here for years. And I mean, a lot of people don't realize this, but a lot of this shit I'm building up, she may not be here with me anymore. She may have passed away last year, but her fingerprints are all over all this shit that I'm doing. Like, this PR shit for me is easy. I used to date the #1 student from Bowie State University who graduated the top of her class that studied PR. Do you know how many unnecessary conversations I've had about PR? Do you know how many times I've been in a room and I've heard PR quotes and terms used? I naturally know about PR because when we were together, all she did was talk to me about her dreams of wanting to be the best person in PR ever. She's worked for companies like GMMB, which has come up with the Yes We Can campaign. She's worked for Hill & Knowlton and Ketchum, which is 2 of the top 7 PR companies in the world. She not here, but you can't tell her shit. She would have been the best nigga on this planet doing what the fuck she's doing. And I mean, you know, now that she's not here, y'all niggas gonna see us build a lot of shit. And we're not gonna give a fuck how anybody feels about it, because we're gonna do whatever the hell we want, and that's it, man. Mental Health Mondays is a very selfish project that I came up with. And I plan on doing the best that I can to help those, because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for her help. Period. And that's that. That's that on that. Yeah, that's that on that. Yeah.